What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to teach you guys how to silicone a yo-yo. Things you need: Permatex, flowable silicone, windshield and glass sealant. This is the only type of silicone I'll recommend for you to use. The other silicones do work, but this is just by far the best. It's flowable, doesn't stink, does the job. The self-leveling is huge. Much easier to get in the groove and level out. So this is exactly what you want. It's like $5 on Amazon or at your auto parts store. So get yourself a tube of this. It'll do like 40 yo-yos. You also need scissors or a knife to open up your packaging. You need a credit card, gift card, license, something hard plastic. A spoon will work, but credit card method is definitely the way I like to go. Get yourself some paper towels. Also, you're going to want to have your yo-yo ready to go. Now, these are new, so the groove is already set and ready to go. What you're going to have to do is get your pad out of there, or the old silicone. I use a toothpick usually. That helps. You can get all the pieces out. Basically, you want as much metal as you can exposed for the new silicone so that it'll stay in there well. So yeah, you can use a baby screwdriver, like I said, toothpick, X-Acto knife. All of those will work well. Also, afterwards, you can run some alcohol on a Q-tip through the groove, clean it out. Like I said, you just want a nice clean surface for the silicone to stick to. Those are the basics. Let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. Okay guys, first step, you're gonna have this inside with your silicone tube in the packaging. You can use a knife to cut it. I like to just use some scissors, and you want to cut it not on the first little notch, but in the middle of the second notch. I like to do it at a little angle. Straight is fine. I guess I could have got some bigger scissors. Oops, but that's cut off. Can blow right through. Depending on, so that's good to go. I usually like to put the scissors in there and just make sure it has a nice, I don't know. I just like to make sure that that hole is good to go since you did just squeeze the metal. So that's the first step. Second step is your silicone tube, as you can see, will be sealed. But the cap is how you open it. Flip it over, push it on that metal. Make sure you have paper towels around because silicone can make a mess. Take your time. Okay. Screw your cap on top. And you're good to go. Now, slowly, from the bottom, work the silicone up into the nozzle. Now, I say slowly because it'll really come firing out of there. Okay, so it's slowly moving up the tube and we're gonna be good to go. So I'm gonna get the yo-yos ready for siliconing. I've got 3 halves to show you guys. And basically with this flowable silicone, since it's flowable, it's gonna be self-leveling. You do not wanna overfill the groove. Just try to keep it below the rim. Squeeze from the back, bottom of the tube very, very lightly because especially with the fresh tube, it's gonna be coming out by itself already. And then just make it just one continuous stream all the way around. And like I said, it's ideal to underfill because once it self-levels, you won't have any mess at all. It'll just self-level in there. You'll have recessed silicone pad and you are good to go. You don't even have to wipe anything off. You'll have no maintenance afterwards. So for our first example, that's what we're going with. Second example in the middle is going to be your normal, what I would expect you guys to do right away until you get the hang of it. You're just going to fill it up, wrap it right around just like so, and then you just keep spinning it around until that silicone stops coming out so you don't make a mess. And third one, just for extra measure, we'll do as well because we're going to be doing a whole set. Circle it right around. That looks pretty good. A little bit too much in there, which you'll see in a minute here. So this is the first one we did, which we made sure that we underfilled. Basically what you want to do is check and make sure that all of the floor of the silicone groove is covered with silicone. If it is, you're going to be good to go, even though you're still underfilled. But you still want to take this credit card, put it on the rim. I like to back it up against the bearing post, and then just put it flat down across the silicone groove and spin the yo-yo. Make sure you have the yo-yo on a paper towel so you don't scratch it up. But that's what you're going to do, is just spin it. And once you make it all the way around, you'll see there's no silicone on the card. It's good to go. All it needs to do, go ahead and wait 24 hours, will be good to go. You can wait 12 hours and play it, but you will leave marks in the silicone then. Okay, so this was our second one, which we filled up to the top. So we should have a little bit that comes off. And like I said, I like to back it up against that bearing post, put pressure on the card so it's just straight across that flowable groove. Spin the yo-yo all the way around. This one had very, very little, so this was like a perfect one. You'll have, as you're spinning it, the silicone will come out to the outside ring, and that's why I said you put a little pressure on it so that there's a break in the silicone and then the excess that gets pushed to the side. Let that excess dry. It is so much easier to peel off after it dries. So same thing, 12 hours later, go ahead and peel the extra silicone off, and it will be good to go. Third one here, this is the one we definitely overfilled, as you guys will be able to see here. The second one was pretty much perfect, but I'll give you a close-up on this one. See, you'll scoop that up. We got the silicone on that. Make sure you have an extra paper towel to clean up your credit card between halves that you're sliding. And if we can get it to focus, but you can see here on this side, you definitely can see. Wish I had a better camera for you guys, but you can see that the silicone was pushed off the edge. So that's what needs to dry, and then you can peel it off. But, like I said, once it's dry, it's super easy to peel off. As you can see, the groove is, it's perfect after you run that credit card across it. Quick little pro tip after the fact, if you guys want a recess in your silicone, go ahead and put it on the corner of the credit card, just like that. The credit card will be, the corner will be dipped down just in between in that silicone groove. And then it's the same thing. Just leave it right down in that groove, rotate it around all the way. It'll be pushing that silicone off the yo-yo, like down into the catch zone, which is perfect. You'll just wipe it off later. But that is your pro tip if you want a little bit of a recess in your silicone. Usually flowable silicone is soft enough that you don't need the recess. After you play it for a little bit, it'll just be recessed right down in. But if you want it recessed right off the bat, that's your pro tip. So yeah, that's what you guys have to do to silicone a yo-yo. It really is pretty easy. Those were the G-squared Banshees, so they have a wider groove than a lot of yo-yos out there. A lot of yo-yos take the 19mm pads, so they can be a little more difficult to silicone. So what you want to do with those is just be careful when you cut the top. Cut it a little bit further towards the end so it has a little bit smaller a hole at the end so you can get it right down in that groove. These ones are super easy to do because it's nice and wide. But yeah, I hope that shows how easy it really is to re-silicone a yo-yo, and then you'll be good for months. If you like fresh silicone every month, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of annoyance to have to re-silicone your yo-yo every month, but not really. You do it before you go to bed. Wake up, it's really pretty close to being good to go when you wake up the next day. Like I said, I suggest 12 hours. That will leave marks in your silicone from the string, but it's still going to be fine to play after 12 hours. If you guys have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm hoping that should help you guys. I get a lot of questions on flowable, but it really is super, super easy, super cheap to do as well. Afterwards, also, last key tip, take this nozzle, whatever it is, nozzle. Take it off, just unscrew it, leave it full, just set it upside like this on a paper towel. Just set it up and leave it there for 2 days. Afterwards, you'll be able to just pull the silicone out of the tube, one piece, and the piece, this nostril will be good to go again. So yeah, pretty basic. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Hope that answers your questions. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you next time.